Hi, this is Richard Houghton. Got a lot of people asking me, well, how'd you do that little smoke uh, picture with the eye peeking out behind the smoke, and there's on a background. Anyway, it's really quite easy to do, and I don't really want to do a workshop or anything like that because it's really not that hard. And so I thought I'd just do this little quick video tutorial and just show you very quickly how you do it. Let's say I want to do this little puppy here, and I want to have him looking through this smoke. So what I'm going to do is click the puppy, hold hold the control key down, and click. So I've got both of these selected. And then I'm going to go to Photo and Edit In, and I want to go to Open as Layers in Photoshop. Okay, so it takes those two pictures over to Photoshop automatically, and it puts the smoke in there, and here comes the puppy dog. Okay, then we got them both there. So we have two layers. We have the puppy on one layer. I'm going to click it, and when you click this visibility, then you see what's below it. It just kind of makes this one go away for a while. Okay, so we have two of them. First thing I want to do is go on the smoke, and let's duplicate that layer. Easiest way is to hold the control down and press the letter J. Control J duplicates the layer. And I'm going to go back to the puppy. I want to put the puppy in between these two. Okay, so now we have smoke, puppy, smoke. And if we click that off, there's the puppy. So if we're on this layer, we can't see anything there because this is blocking it. It blocks everything. But we have a thing called opacity. We can reduce the opacity, and guess what? We can see the puppy beneath it. And so that tells me that if we try to do it now, the puppy's too big, and it's not in the right place. I don't want it in the middle of the page. I want it kind of up here. So what we have to do is we're going to have to do something to that puppy to make him be the size and the place that I want it to. So I'm going to move the opacity back up to 100, and I'm going to click this little eyeball. So now I'm on this puppy, and I got to click the layer. So you got to be on the layer. It's something to watch constantly. You have to understand what layer you're on. So now we're on the puppy layer. So I want to do something with this, and like always, let's do a selection, and I'm just going to do Control A to select the whole thing. I could just as easily draw a rectangle or circle around the dog's face, but it's just easier just to do the whole thing. Control A selects the whole thing. Now I'm going to do a transform, which means it will let me do something with this selection. So Control T gets me to transform. So these little corners pop up and everything. So I'm going to make him smaller. So I'm going to grab a corner and just pull it down. Whoops. I'm going to hold Shift and Alt, and that way everything will go at the same time. He'll get smaller, and it'll be even. If I just pull one corner, it'll distort it. If you hold Shift down, then it'll go symmetrically, but only one way. So I'm just dragging this. I'm dragging it up to here, and I want that puppy dog to be looking out of this part of the smoke. Once we got it there, you see this check mark up here? Then we say check, and so he'll stay there. Now I need to unselect or deselect the selection. So Control D unselects it. So I'm going to now turn this layer back on, turn the eyeball back on. Now we can't see the puppy dog, but he's there, and he's in the right place. You see that? Now, how do we make it so we can see through this smoke? Well, we put what's called a mask. This is a mask right here. It's called a layer mask. It looks like a square with a black dot in the middle. So if I click that, it puts a white mask on there, a white mask. In order to see, the white lets everything go through from this layer. But if we punch a hole in it with black, then we'll be able to see what's under this layer. Right now it's white. if we make any part of that black, then we'll be able to see through to whatever's under it. So I'm going to change, I'm going to go for a brush, push the letter B as in boy, B for brush. So now I've got the brush. You could also click here and select the brush, same thing. But I want to have black. Well, the black's on the bottom. This is the color that's active right now. I want the black. Well, if I click that, click, it just toggles back and forth those two colors. Or I can hit the X key on my keyboard, and guess what happens? Same thing. So I want black, I want my brush, and I have to click this. Don't click that. Don't click on this layer. Click on this, make sure this layer is there, and click on that little white, because that's where we're going to be painting, nowhere else. So we have opacity, this is for the brush, and we have flow of 100. If I paint now, whatever I paint is 100% of black. So now we see the puppy, but I don't like to do it like that. I'm going to get rid of that, and I do that by Control-Z. Control-Z means undo. So I want to do it a little bit at a time. So let's reduce the flow down to about 25 or 30%, okay? So we're on this layer. I have a brush. We have black paint. And we know the puppy dog's in here somewhere. We can, you recall, take the opacity and just pull it. Just kind of click, and we can see where that doggy is. We can leave it there and start painting. That's cool. Just to get started. And now I'm going to pull the opacity back up so it'll be more realistic, look more realistic as we do it. This is a little bit small. Let me take this magnifying glass and click on it a couple of times to make it a little bit bigger. Now I have to go back and get the brush again, right? So there's the brush. I've got black. I'm on this layer. Okay. I'm going to reduce the size of the brush a little bit by hitting the left bracket key. And I'm going to keep going, and I want to get him fully, especially those eyes, fully showing through all this smoke. And don't worry about getting too much. Like, see here, this line from where the dog picture ended. Don't worry. I mean, we've got, with this black and white area, we can do stuff that's amazing. See, same thing here. That's where the picture ended. Well, it looks pretty bad, but don't worry about it. So make sure he's all done. Now we're going to stay on the mask. All we're going to do is change colors. So we're going to now make it so that we can't see through. So just start going with white. So we're painting with white. We change the color, and we're still painting on this, but we're painting with white. And now we're blocking that puppy from coming through. So now we get that square look off of there. Get maybe some of this off of there, that blue area. But that doesn't look very natural because the smoke, he's looking through it, but it just doesn't look very natural. So what we can do is hit the black again, change it to black again. And I want to get his nose. I took too much of his nose away. So, but I do want some of this smoke to go across him to make it look more normal. So I'm going to hit that, and now I'm going to reveal. I'm going to hit the right bracket key, and now I can kind of bring a little bit of that smoke in. You see that? I can kind of bring that smoke in across his face, make it a little more realistic. Here's that line. I can go over that line, and I can make a little bit of smoke. You kind of see this curl that goes here. Kind of use what's already there and just enhance what's there to make it look more natural. And there's going to be something that probably goes across here, something like that. But if you feel like it's not what you want, then you can very easily just hit the X key or go backwards. I'm not sure that looks very good, but I'm going to leave it. It doesn't look very good. I'm going to hit the X key, and I'm going to remove some of that, and make it not so much on his face. Poor little puppy. So there we go. So I'm going to hit his nose again, make sure that that's plenty visible, and I'm going to stay off that whatever that blue is under there. I'm going to hit the X key. I'm now on white. And I want to go here and get more of that color out of there. Maybe you would choose to leave it there. I don't know. But so I'm going to hit the X and go black again and reveal a little bit more. And so yeah, so there's our puppy dog peeking through. There should be a little bit more in this area here, but I don't want that straight line there. So I'm going to hit my X key and kind of make it less straight. But there are smoke lines that we can see and kind of develop, bring it more into the area to look at more, you know, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea. So we got 2 pictures and we got a blending mask, or not a blending mask, a layer mask, 2 pictures, 1 layer mask, and there we are. Now you see, obviously we have some work to do here, but we can do that with a crop. So let's say I'm through. So all we have to do now is to kind of collapse all this stuff here. So you go to layer, and we want to merge visible. In other words, put all the visible. You can also say flatten, but merge visible allows you to go back if you don't like what you see. Merge visible. So it takes all of those and puts it into this copy. Now I'm going to go get the crop tool, and I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to leave it. This is 2:3 ratio. In other words, it's 2 across and 3 high. So if I drag this down and get rid of that top line, then the sides come in and it stays, stays in proportion. So do it like that. Make sure this is in there, and maybe pull him down just a little bit, just to make sure he's in that upper third area generally. Okay, then what I want to do, I want to make sure it says delete cropped area. So delete everything that's outside the crop lines, and just click that, and there we are. So what we want to do now is, since we came from Lightroom, this is a cool feature. I mean, if you haven't used it before, if you used it before, then my apologies, but I'm going to go to File, Close. Now this only happens if we came from Lightroom straight into Photoshop. And if you say Close and Save Changes, blah blah, say yeah. Now guess what? This takes it back to automatically back to Lightroom and puts it in there. And if I click on that one, see, I didn't have to go and import it or anything. There it is right there. So there's our picture. So I hope this gives you a little bit of an idea of what you can do. This masking, any 2 pictures, you can put a mask on it, and do this pretty much with any 2 or even 3 pictures. But there it is, basic masking. I hope you got something out of this, and so give it a try, and watch the video again if you missed something. I hope I didn't miss anything when I was moving it in there. But this is it, and thank you for watching.